And welcome back to Sports the NEMO Way, the Magic Johnson episode. The 6'9", 215-pound point guard. That's a weird sentence to say. The 6'9", 215-pound point guard. The 5-time champ, 3-time MVP, 12-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA, playing 13 years in the league after being the number 1 overall pick, and he is a Hall of Famer. With career averages of 19, 7, and 11 on 52% shooting. And for like the fourth episode in a row, I didn't ask who I was going to first. But here is something we've never had before. 4 of the 5 of us have him identically ranked.
And I should have.
Yeah, so let's just kick to Uncle Doug, since he has him ranked the lowest of anybody.
He's my favorite player.
At number 4 overall, and number 1 on his point guard list.
Terribly shocking, actually.
Yeah, well, I think you were gone the night that he talked about this. I think it might have been the LeBron episode.
I think it was, yeah.
And I said the only reason he's at 4 and not 3 is because I thought you guys would all say I was a Laker fan, and that's the only reason he was there. And it comes to find out, you guys all had him at 3. So, yeah, he may end up at 3. But, yeah, it's Magic was a joy to watch. Again, kind of like when we talked in the Larry Bird episode, the shortness of their career hurts some of their total numbers. Point-wise, he's like 85th on the list, 17,000 points. Rebounds, he's like 150. Assists, he's 6th, just because, like I said, the shortness of the career. Steals, he's 24th. Alex mentioned his averages. His playoff average for points is identical to his career average, 19.5 and 19.5. The assists, or the rebounds go up half a rebound, and the assists go up 1. So he played a little better in the playoffs. 9 finals, winning 4 of those. So yeah, it was. I still remember the day that he announced the HIV. I believe either I called my sister or my sister called me, because we both loved Magic, and it was heartbreaking to see his career cut short. And but I watched his very first NBA game, and everybody thought that energy would burn out, and he was still smiling when he retired. Definitely a joy to watch. I'll leave it there.
All right. Well, while we're on the Lakers, let's just go to the other one. Drew, what you got?
Well, one of the biggest things with Magic, whenever I think of him, I always see his big old smile. He's always smiling about something, and even when he's like serious, by the end, he's smiling about it normally. Magic was a phenomenal passer. He was making passes behind the back, behind his head, no look, whatever. He's the reason why they had Showtime out in L.A., and I'm sure we'll hit on that more later. But Magic could score when he needed to, but he was fine with passing the ball to the other people and getting them fast break layups and stuff. So that's all I got for now.
All right. And now I will kick to Ray to see what Ray has to say.
Okay.
And by the way, the rest of us all have Magic identically ranked at number 3 overall and 1 on our point guard list. Sorry.
All right, so put a little context to the argument here, or however you want to call these last couple weeks. It's not really arguments anymore. But Wade was over last night. I kind of told him what my plan was for the Magic thing. I watched all 4 episodes of the Magic documentary on Apple Plus, so this is where I'm kind of drawing from. So I didn't know that the Lakers won the rights to Magic through a coin flip against the Bulls. Let's see. First meeting with Michael Cooper. He goes, "Hi, I'm Magic," and Coop goes, "Hi, I'm Coop, and welcome to the NBA, motherfucker." Meeting with Kareem the first time. Magic's rolling in the locker room with the Parliament Funkadelics playing on that boom box he used to have, and Kareem's a quiet guy, so he don't play that. So Kareem goes, "Hey, rookie, turn that boom box off." So already he was making a splash in the locker room with the big guys that's been there already. Now, we all know that Michael Jordan was a game changer, but Magic Johnson put life back into the NBA. What I mean by that is that the NBA was in decline with all the drug usage, the fighting, and even the white fans were tired of seeing all the blacks playing and there wasn't really whites anymore. But that was kind of a transition time between segregation and racism stuff going on. And let's see. Magic was that electrifying that he bridged the gap among all that. He went to the NBA Finals his rookie season. He did not get Rookie of the Year. He lost to Larry Bird. And it just blows my mind that Magic went to the finals his rookie year, and they gave Bird the Rookie of the Year in crazy vote fashion, where Bird got like 65 votes to Magic's 3, which was an incredible landslide between the two, which is I just don't understand. And I really like Magic, that this man went through adversity, and he still had the biggest smile on his face. We'll go when he was 15 years old. They was finally segregating the high schools, and he was getting bused to school. And they just have the white folk just out on the streets, and they throwing rocks and bricks at the buses and bullshit like that. And the dude just kept going through life with a smile on his face and pretty much said, fuck everybody that's in my way. With all that said, I'm going to go on a little rant. All you modern NBA players need to grow the fuck up because y'all make me sick.
Make me sick.
You have the audacity to say that you look up to these players and want to be these players, but really what you're saying is that you want the bank account of these players. I'm not talking about all of them, just a few. As an hourly employee, I have to go to work every day to make a paycheck. I don't get the luxury to sit on my fucking ass and collect checks. Being a military veteran and having a brother who's gone through PTSD, I get tired of seeing these clown-ass bitches sitting on a bench like Zoolander. You need to grow the fuck up because you disrespect the fucking game. And you disrespect the people with real shit going on. If I have to get a vaccine to continue getting my paycheck, you're damn right I'm getting that shot in my arm. Whether or not I believe in it or not, I have to go in and make my money because I have pride in myself to say that I earned my money. Now, I'm not saying don't take a stance on something you believe in, but there's a difference between a stance and being stubborn. Now, I bring this up because Magic became HIV positive, but that man might have quit basketball, but he didn't stop working. He was out there advocating for AIDS virus, bringing attention to the virus, not only at first because he was protecting his wife Cookie, so she didn't get the wrong impression from the people looking in. But he did eventually come out and become the face of the cause. He never quit. He never quit fighting, and for 4 years later, he made it back to the NBA. He played 32 games with 14, 6, 9, and 5. Now, the averages are irrelevant. What you need to take away from this is that if you want motivation, inspiration, a role model, this is your guy. Magic has always been an advocate for self-improvement and improvement for all. Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irving are out for themselves. They bring down what Magic and others have built. They are the toxicity which make people hate the current NBA. Everybody has a job. We've all had jobs that we hated. And we all have to go to work because there are things that are bigger than our shit for us not to go to work. This is why I respect older players, because they respected the game themselves and they stood for something. In closing, he might be third on my list, but you can always make the case for him to be number one, but you can't deny that he is the best point guard of all time.
Might have took my record for longest opening statement, right?
It was quite the opening statement there, Ray.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, Wade, you or I?
Oh, I can go ahead and go. It's fine.
Sure.
With Magic, I think the probably the best way to put it is him and Bird were two of the greatest all-around players ever. I think that's probably what made them so great was their ability to pretty much do everything on the floor and make everybody around them better. And they stuffed the stat sheet and put up amazing all-around numbers. But the trick is with Magic is he stuffed the stat sheet, but a lot of what great point guards do doesn't show up on a stat sheet. They run the offense. They make sure everyone's in the right spot. They make everybody around them better. They improve their team. Like the team kind of pretty much runs through them. And if you're a great point guard, it enhances everybody. And not only did Magic go out there and put up stats like other players that don't necessarily impact the team as much as they should because they're out for themselves, he was the greatest ever at leading his team and making everybody around him better, and also filled up the stat sheet and was able to do everything on the floor at an exceptional level. And that showed with 5 championships and 3 MVPs. And the highest assist average in NBA history. So, I think that's the best way to put it. Pretty short and sweet.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to hear majority of my Magic opening statement, listen to the Bird episode, because I talk about Magic throughout my opening rant for Bird. But I make the case that Bird and Magic are the most important players in NBA history. And I stand by that statement because I don't believe there would be an NBA without Bird and Magic. That's how bad of shape the NBA was in when those guys entered the league in '79. I agree with a lot of what you guys said. I thought Wade had a pretty powerful moment there for Magic. I also agree with Drew that when I think of Magic in my head, he has that big-ass smile on his face. It's just very, I don't know what's the right word for it, polarizing, guy, that big smile. But at the same time, I think I always thought of it this way. Maybe Magic didn't, I don't know. I don't want to put words in his mouth. But I always thought, like, it was one of those things, like, he was lulling you to sleep with it. Like, hey, guys, I'm this nice motherfucker, I'm going to cut your heart out. Like the smile made out of being a real smile, especially when he was on the court. It was just like, yeah, I'm smiling at you. I'm a nice guy. Oh, I got a bucket, or whatever the case may be. I do also agree with Ray. I don't think there's much of a debate on the greatest point guard of all time. I don't know that you can make a great case for anybody else to take the number one spot. And to be honest with you, I think, there's nobody currently playing that is, like, really close. That can still, obviously other guys on our list, like Nash and Kidd and Stockton, are no longer building their resume. So those are done. We've got guys like Westbrook on lists, and Curry is on most of our lists and stuff. But Chris Paul, thank you, Wade. But I don't think, a championship this year for any of those guys we just named doesn't put them in the Magic conversation. There's a lot of work to be done to get to where Magic is. So I don't think Magic has a lot to worry about, at least over the next few years. If Curry goes out and wins a couple more titles and MVPs the next couple of years, then maybe this conversation changes. But
Chris Paul has the totals and the averages, but he's 5 championships and 3 VPs.
right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Wade. That's a great point.
Curry doesn't have the all-around numbers.
Yeah. Again, I don't want to bring up, this whole thing with Ray from the Curry episode, but Curry doesn't play like a point guard, so he's never going to have the Magic-type numbers.
Yeah, Curry's just different.
He might eventually outscore Magic over the course of his career.
He might have already done it, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know what Curry's career points are.
He's close to 20,000.
Is he?
See, Magic's only got less than 18.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I don't even know how many years Curry's played. That's actually a really.
probably, I guess around like 12.
I'll say he's got to be double digits because those first few years he was just hurt a lot.
I'd say 11 or 12.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
I think it's 11.
I'm pulling it
Because
up.
he's in his what, low 30s somewhere, 33 maybe.
Yeah, he's in his 30s for sure, but I can't remember where. All right, Steph Curry has actually played almost as many career games as Magic at this point. They're like 80 games apart, exactly. So, like one season. And his point total, he has 20,064 points. So, he has like, 200 or 2,300 more points than Magic. But, he's got about half the rebounds, half the assists. So not really. But, by the way, half the assists, but well over half the turnovers.
Yeah.
Just some interesting stuff. But,
Well, like, I don't remember who said it, you or Uncle Doug or someone. They just played really different. One used his passing to make everybody around him better. One uses his shooting to stretch the floor and make it easier on his teammates. I mean, just two completely different styles of basketball.
I think there are a handful of guys that are, over the course of NBA history, that are super special. And Wade, sorry, Drew, I just hit Drew while I was referencing to Wade. Because of the way they're able to fill a stat sheet, and I don't mean in the Russell Westbrook type way. I just mean like over the course of the game, they're doing everything they can to win. They're doing everything efficiently, those types of things, like a Magic, like a Bird, like a LeBron, that are able to do pretty much everything at a high level. Most guys, we see a lot of guys that are like, well, I can score and assist, but I don't rebound, or I can score and rebound, but I don't pass, or guys that I'm an excellent defender and rebounder, but I don't score, like we see a lot of guys that do one or two things really well, but not 3 or 4 or 5 things really well. It's like, I guess what I'm saying is like they're the equivalent of the 5-tool baseball player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm just rambling at this point. So I will end my opening statement there, and I will ask the normal question just with a slight tweak to it, because I think we all agree Magic could play in other eras of basketball. But my question will be then, what would Magic look like in today's NBA?
He'd be the triple-double king.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just be the triple-double master. I'm trying to think of...
He would be LeBron with a better attitude, a better skill set, and he wouldn't destroy a franchise after he'd leave it.
He wouldn't lead the franchise first off.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think he'd be pretty amazing. He could do... I know Alex was saying, talking about him being able to do whatever. And I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about what Ray said about the Rookie of the Year. Larry Bird had a great Rookie Year, too. And, of course, those things were voted on before the playoffs.
Yeah.
And, of course, Magic was the first rookie to ever win the Finals MVP. And that Game 6 he had against Philly, I was telling Drew the story on the way up here tonight. They knew Kareem wasn't... I think Kareem didn't even go to Philly. I think he stayed in L.A. to get treatment in hopes of maybe playing 7. So when Magic got on the plane, he sat in Kareem's seat and said something to the effect, I don't know if I have it right, but never fear, EJ's here.
Yeah. Yeah, never fear, Magic's here.
Yeah, and then he goes out and puts up 42 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists, and closes out the 76ers on their home floor.
That's pretty nasty.
Yeah. As a rookie, playing center for Kareem.
Yeah, that is tough skin and good mental stability for coming in that rookie year.
I mean, I was watching that game, again, as we've said before, on like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And it was unbelievable because I was just so bummed that Kareem was out, thinking, oh, now we're in trouble. And then Magic just went off. Now, Silk, Jamal Wilkes, also put up like 37 that night. He went off too, but it was just amazing. So Alex is exactly right. Larry and Magic were just a totally different kind of player than what the NBA had seen. And they totally revitalized the league. It was just amazing.
Well, you made a comment there, Uncle Doug, that he was the first rookie to win Finals MVP. Has somebody done it since then?
I don't know if anybody has. I know he was the first.
I'm just trying to think of a rookie that went to the finals, like as a good player. I mean, I'm sure there's rookies every season that go to the finals, but most of them aren't any good.
Right, yeah, they're not the MVP. Yeah, I don't know. I knew that he was the first one to do it. I'm not sure if anybody else has or not.
I'll look it up for us.
Did Duncan go his second year?
He went. His first year was '97, and they won the title in '99. Right? Isn't that right?
I don't remember his rookie year, to be completely honest, but I know he went real early.
Yeah, I know he didn't go in his first year though.
Yeah, I was thinking second. It might be third. But I knew he was early at least.
Michael's the only one. No, Magic's the only one.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it's interesting is his name Magic, the nickname. Some sports writer in Michigan gave him that when he was playing high school ball. He was 15 years old, and he put up 36 points, 16 rebounds, 16 assists. And that's when the guy started calling him Magic.
Well, I think I said in an older episode on a podcast I listened to, this person said this anyway. I haven't actually researched it, but the term triple-double was made up to describe Magic Johnson because an L.A. writer was trying to figure out a way to find a word or some sort of description to describe his great all-around game. So then he just came up with a triple-double term and kind of made it into a stat, how many times he got a triple-double in a season and stuff like that. So Magic's all-around game started the triple-double phenomenon.
Let me ask you guys this. If you took guys like Magic and Bird who were putting up near triple-double averages every single season, and had two of the most triple-doubles for their careers when they retired. Now there's quite a few guys that are passing them, but again, I don't know this for a fact, so this is my opinion, but I don't think they were looking for them, the triple-doubles, I mean. Do you think if they started wanting to have triple-doubles, it would have hurt their teams winning as much as they did?
Yeah. Well, they're doing what's best for the team, not what's best for Magic and Larry.
When you start intentionally seeking triple-doubles, that's negatively going to affect your team because you're not playing the team concept. You're just doing what's good for you. So really, getting triple-doubles was a good thing until a couple of years ago.
We've turned it into a bad thing.
All these players, like the greatest all-around players ever, were always super high in the triple-double list because they always helped their teams in always crazy ways. Like, Jason Kidd, super high on the triple-double list because he was an absolute machine at passing and rebounding and made everybody around him better. And everywhere he went, his teams got better. And, I mean, Bird was up there, Magic's up there. Oscar Robinson carried a lot of not-so-great players into the playoffs numerous times when he was doing all his crazy things back in the day. Really up until Westbrook. Westbrook kind of made the triple-double and made people kind of dislike it. But even when before he left the Thunder won like 72% of their games when he got a triple-double. So even if he was doing it on purpose, then when he played awesome and got all that, they were winning most of the time. But now, like, everyone does it. Everyone. Like, it's yeah. And even younger LeBron, he carried a lot of, like, those Cavs teams that weren't loaded. He did a ton of all-around play and got a lot of triple-doubles and carried them all the way to an NBA Finals.
Yeah, that's very true. I feel like we're forgetting somebody that's high on the on the list, but I can't think of it off the top of my
I mean,
head.
start naming guys in the NBA right now, and they're probably on the list.
Well, that's. I mean,
Well, yeah.
Harden's up there, and
Oh, yeah.
Luka and Jokic are both climbing it very
Yeah.
rapidly.
LeBron's up there, Magic's up there, Kidd, Bird, Oscar, Westbrook, Wilt. Wilt has a lot of triple doubles, doesn't he?
Do they? Yeah, I think he
I
does.
mean, they can go
yeah.
back and
Yeah, I think he
look
does. Yeah, I think you're right.
They said he would have what? Centuple doubles. If they would have had blocks and steals. Is that what it's
Oh,
called?
that yeah,
Oh.
probably.
Because they said he would have done that if.
Oh, most definitely.
I mean, we've seen guys get triple doubles without points.
Draymond.
Yeah.
Ben Wallace used to do it.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
Draymond might be high on the triple double list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Let's
mean,
just look
he
up
gets
the triple
double-digit
double
points.
list.
Yeah, like I
I
mean,
that one I remember he had
it's
like
a handful
he
of
had
them a
like
year.
6 points, 12 rebounds, 10 steals, and
10 assists.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm like,
As much as we shit on Draymond, he is a good all-around player.
All right, here's
Besides scoring the basketball.
Yeah.
here's the list. Number 1 is Russell Westbrook. Number 2, the Big O. Number 3, Magic. Number 4, Kidd. With LeBron only 2 behind Kidd, so he could pass Kidd pretty quickly. Then there is Wilt. Then at number 7 is Jokic. Already.
Wow.
Then you have Harden, Bird, and then there's Luka.
Man, he's coming up the list fast.
Mhm.
And he's going to get it, bro. Him or Jokic.
Mm.
Wade Bob Cousy's at 12.
Sure he is. Sure he is.
Wade's favorite.
Hey, JJ Redick has my back. He took a big old
Oh,
poop on
yeah.
Bob Cousy on ESPN a couple weeks ago.
He did. I
Yeah.
saw that.
He did.
He said
It
the
was-
difference between Chris Paul and Bob Cousy is Bob Cousy played against plumbers and firemen. Wasn't playing against professional basketball players. Chris, yeah.
By the way,
That's great.
Draymond is number 15, but he's all the way down. He only has 31.
But he's number 15 all time.
Yeah.
Well,
So
31 used to be a big number for triple double.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I did.
Like if you got over 100, you were a boss.
yeah.
Like, you were crazy.
So yeah, actually, and shout out here, Ray. Grant Hill has 29.
Woo!
Hey.
That's. I mean, I bet most of them came in those first like 4 years or
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
years or whatever.
Absolutely.
That's crazy, actually.
Yeah. Indeed. All right. Well, there's our triple double rant, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I think if Magic played today, they would use him like Giannis. Not as like slamming into people down low, but I just mean like they would surround him with 4 shooters, and he would either get to the basket off his one man, where there's no shot blocker to beat him at the rim, or he kicks to a shooter because you bring somebody down to try and help, and that's the way. I think that's the way they would use him. He would be Ben Simmons, only actually good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can name a. Yeah, I mean that's what Luka does. They just give the ball to Luka, spread out, and he gets to do whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Either drive and kick or try and score. Magic would just probably pass a little more than Luka, even though Luka does
Mhm.
pass.
What is
Sometimes.
Magic's usage rate for him being a point guard and all that?
Shouldn't be too high because he's
How's
a
it?
score a bunch.
I just wonder with him having the ball time.
Advanced usage rate. His career usage rate is 22.
That's not. I mean, that's a decent amount, but that's not crazy.
No,
at all.
Larry's is 20. Larry's usage rate is 24, so slightly higher. But he's 60th all time.
Yeah.
I don't know what Magic is because I didn't look
Like,
it up before this.
I'm
But
sure like 22 and 24 are probably decently high for back then, but it's nothing compared to a
No,
lot of
not
the guys
today.
today.
Yeah, today aren't they up in 30s?
Westbrook has like a
Yeah.
40 season.
Oh,
yeah,
shoot.
he does.
Mm.
Well, Luka, the three straight seasons has been over 35.
That's really high. That's
Yeah.
very, very high.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, he had a usage rate of 36 and didn't lead the league. I don't know who
Oh,
did. I
wow.
don't know who did, but it wasn't him because he's been the league leader the last 2 years. But 3 years ago, he had a usage rate of 36 and he was not the league leader.
Was it like Harden or Westbrook?
It could have been Harden, yeah.
'Cause that would have been.
That'd been one.
Wait, was that the year they were on the same team?
I don't know.
Ooh, it might have been.
Because Russell was Lakers this year, Wizards last year, Rockets year before, I believe. So that would have messed up their usage rates, maybe. I'm trying to think who else it could have been. Maybe LeBron.
Was Trae Young doing that kind of stuff
Ooh,
yet?
yeah, maybe.
Trae Young had some big. I think he's had some big ones here recently. Let's look here. I pulled up the all-time one, so I may not get to where I wanted to, but.
Of course, Jordan's super high in there.
Oh, this is career, damn it.
Yeah,
Allen
Michael's
Iverson's
really high.
Iverson's really high.
Yeah, but okay, Iverson and Jordan, the two guys you just named, that's a perfect example of it. Mike has a high usage rate, but he's also has the highest points per game average in NBA history.
Mm.
You know, and he did it shooting 50%,
Yeah.
not 42%, like AI. You know,
No.
so there's
Breach.
Just stop.
Breach.
Just stop right there.
Preach it to me. Come on. That's why he has no championships and Mike has 6.
well, if you no, I guess what I'm
Tell me
saying.
when
I guess
you're
what I'm saying is I mean Westbrook and Harden have the same problem. You know, if you're going to constantly have the ball and not let anybody else have the ball, you should try and be efficient, like not just be a chucker. That's what's always bothered me about Harden, is like he shoots a low percentage, but we talk about how great of a shooter he is. And because he shoots a ton of threes and he makes his free throws, he has a really high true shooting percentage. But true shooting percentage is something that is made for today's NBA. It punishes older players because they don't shoot enough threes.
No, they're
If I shoot, like we just talked about it in the LeBron episode with Jared. I shoot the same field goal percentage as you. I shoot higher than you from 3. And I shoot like ridiculously higher than you from the free throw line, but your true shooting percentage is much higher than mine because you shoot more threes than me, but I make them at a higher rate than you.
Mm-hmm.
How does that make any fucking sense to anybody?
Yeah, it's
They're
kinda,
kind of-
to me, it's kind of a flawed stat.
they're
there.
kind of well, it's not flawed for today, but they're kind of punishing older players for not shooting them.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
And but then they'll use those stats in an argument for current against old players. I'm like, no.
Well, it especially kills the 50s, 60s, and like that.
When the,
Yeah.
when the 3-point line wasn't even
They
there.
didn't have 3-point line.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing too with Bird and Magic. Magic never became great at it, but he got both of them over the course of their career got significantly better at shooting threes because their rookie year was the first year there ever was a 3-point line.
Right.
That's not something they practiced.
Yeah, it just
no, they
showed
just hadn't
up.
done it.
Yeah, like it. All of a sudden, their rookie year, they were like, "Hey, we're going to introduce this new line. If you make it past that, it's worth 3 points." Even if you look at the beginning of Larry's career, he had like multiple seasons where he shot in the 20s from 3-point line, and then all of a sudden he's like 40%, 40%, 38%, 40%, 40%. Like it's like he was phenomenal at it, but at the very beginning of his career, he was not. Like it was not something people practiced because it wasn't like people were like, why would I shoot out there?
Right,
If
yeah.
it's worth the same amount of points as if I shoot in here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then all of a
let's-
sudden it wasn't. All right, single season. Here we go. Let's look at the single season
Ooh, I bet
usage
Kobe's
rates.
on here.
We have
Who?
Kobe.
Probably.
I forgot about.
Russell Westbrook and James Harden, who was a trivia question of mine a long time ago, are the only 2 players in NBA history to have a usage percentage over 40 for a season. And then you have Kobe Bryant. The year he averaged like 36, had a usage rate of 38.
I mean, I don't blame him on the team he was on.
Russell Westbrook
Don't
has
like Kwame Brown.
Russell Westbrook and Michael Jordan each have a usage rate season of 38. Iverson, Giannis 2 years ago, 2 Lucas seasons and an Embiid season this year have usage percentages of 37. DeMarcus Cousins has a usage rate of 36.
Must have been
And
for the Kings.
It was in 16-17. I assume it was with the Kings.
Yeah, I would think.
I don't know where else he was. Yeah, he's on here again. Drew just pointed at it. He's on here again with a 35 usage rate.
Jermaine O'Neal's on here with the 36.
Damn, Jermaine.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Then you have another James. All the 36s are Luka, Cousins, Harden, Dwayne Wade, Jermaine O'Neal, another Harden. There's those. And then at 35, we have a Jordan season, another Luka season, 2 Iverson seasons, Kobe season, a Melo season, another Cousins season, another Iverson season,
Marcus.
Embiid season, a T-Mac season, a Jerry Stackhouse season. Dominique has one. Kobe has another one. Bernard King has one. George Gervin has one. T-Mac has another one. So there's all the 35s.
Don't give the ball to DeMarcus Cousins. They're not getting it back.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Let's.
Now we can barely play more than 10 minutes a game without getting kicked out or getting hurt.
See,
By the way,
what he
that was
said.
one of the weakest ejections I've ever seen the other day. By the way, I was like, "What did DeMarcus
It's so
do?"
ridiculous.
What did he say the other
He
day? It
just,
was on
but
Twitter. or
part of
something.
it, I mean, they pick on him, but at the same time, he can't shut up and
Yeah.
quit
No,
being
he-
an idiot.
They
Like, just
tease
shut up
him,
and
but
go
then-
down court.
So you want to hear something crazy, guys? DeMarcus Cousins has the 7th highest usage percentage in the history of basketball for his career. I mean,
Well, his first, he did have a 5-year stretch where he put up insane stats. Pretty nasty.
so we're trying to get to 22.
We're really having the scroll for 22.
Where'd you say Bird was? 60th?
Well, I thought so, but 24 is pretty low. Is that him? Did you find him?
No, I'm just pointing at 190s where 22 stars, or 191.
Yeah.
So he.
Sorry, this is probably great podcasting, but I'm just reading all these names trying to find
I don't see
Magic.
him yet. There he is.
Yeah, Magic Johnson is 228th all time in usage percentage.
He's right ahead of Dwight Howard.
Nice.
I'm gonna look at well, maybe Larry's just changed so much since we have so many high usage percentage recently. Because if DeMarcus Cousins is on the damn list, how many current NBA players have ridiculously high usage percentage? Let me see where 24 starts.
Kareem's at 130.
I mean, at a certain
Yeah.
point, if you're just a really good player, you're going to have the ball a certain amount. So
Right.
You're going to have that.
I'm about tired of looking here at this point.
Let's go Bucks. Let's go Bucks.
Let's go.
Oh. The Bulls there for a second were within 12, and now they're down by 24.
Yes, everybody, we are watching the Bulls-Bucks Game 5, and the Bucks are blowing them out.
Well, I'll tell you the one factor, audience. Bucks are hitting threes. Bulls are not hitting threes. That's all you need to know.
First half, 7
Oh,
for
here,
28.
just spot that this quarter. Bulls 2 for 7.
3.
Bucks,
Oh, he
6 for
made it.
10.
He got one.
What a rascal.
Oh. Now we're just commentating.
Yeah.
Well, here's another thing. Again, I don't know how to figure it, so I can't speak to it again. But Magic's win shares aren't very high.
Probably because he had a short career.
Like
How many does he have?
Yeah, 'cause
155, which I mean isn't garbage.
Still more than AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's more than AI.
Quite a
That's
bit
true.
more than AI.
But it's like
155 is actually quite a few for only a 12-year career.
it's like 100 less than Jabbar.
Well, yeah, who played twice as long. Yeah, 21 seasons to 12 or 13.
So many of these advanced stats like this are cumulative, and playing a long time, you accumulate these things even if you don't play well.
Yeah.
Like this is from what we understand, the little we understand of win shares, you're just dividing up shares of victories. So if Robert Parrish is on that Bulls team the last year of his career and they win a bunch of games, I mean, obviously they won 60-some games.
Right. Win share's going up.
His win share is going up even though he didn't really do anything.
That's not true. You have to be a top 3 contributor to get a win share.
Do you?
So if you don't play, you don't get a win share.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I stated this a long time ago.
I can't even remember you saying that one.
See?
I do. I'll vouch for him.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, when it takes 6 pages of formulas to show me
Oh
how
my
to
gosh.
calculate it,
We're not looking it up again because we spent 30
I
minutes.
mean, you can
at
just
one
look up the
episode.
definition of it. I mean, I don't know how to do my taxes, but I know what it is.
it says an estimation of the number of wins contributed by a player. That's what the definition of it is.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, that got me right. As soon as I read the part that said estimation, I'm like, I'm done.
It helped me with one episode against AI. I was cool with that.
Well, AI is pretty low compared
Yeah.
to a lot of the players we've talked about.
What are the
99, I
90s?
think. I think it was
Yeah.
99, I think. Yeah. Well, guys, I will say this: I'm not doing litigation today. I've litigated these top 10 guys to shit.
Yeah, I'll say
So,
when you get down to this.
Like I've asked about the same guys pretty repeatedly here recently. I'm just like, we're on our last 2 episodes. Like, litigation has been retired. It may come back in a future episodes in some other way, shape, or form, but I haven't figured out a way to bring litigation to the football topic, so I don't think it's going to appear in any of those episodes.
Well, like
either.
if we do someone, like, say we do like the Steelers first, and say someone puts like Jack Lambert on their list, you'd be like, okay, why Jack Lambert, not John Hamm?
Well, I could do that, but like, isn't that what we're going to be doing all episode?
Possibly.
Like, you're going to be like,
Possibly.
you're going to be like,
It depends on who's on everybody's list.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
because I mean, especially
Some
with like,
franchises, it just will suck.
yeah, it'll
Like,
suck. Yeah.
why isn't Joseph Adai on your Colts list? Like, well, you see, he kind of sucked the whole time. Like, he had one okay season, then he really sucked. Then we cut him at like age 25, and then he couldn't even make the Patriots roster. I mean, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. So here's a question I brought up the other day, Wade, and I don't think you were here for it.
Oh, okay.
So I'll just ask you, what do you think the beginning of the 90s would have looked like if, obviously, Magic doesn't get HIV and Birds doesn't blow out his back?
Oh. I mean, I bet Jordan's takeover was inevitable. And at that point, they're in, like, by the time he starts winning championships, they're in their 12th to 13th season, something like that. So, I mean, even if those very specific things didn't happen due to the way basketball was played back then, like, you didn't play 20 years anyway. So, I mean, now I think they could have maybe made things interesting for another year or two, maybe. I mean, Magic did meet him in his first NBA Finals, so Magic obviously was still clearly playing at a high level. If Bird is healthy, I'm sure they could have gave him a couple more big series in the Eastern Conference. And maybe they steal a title before he gets that first one, maybe. One of them does. But Jordan, I bet, still at least gets 4 or 5, would be my prediction. Maybe all 6.
That's similar to what I said. I said I thought Jordan still ends up with at least 4. But I think the other big question is if those two guys, if nothing happens to those two guys, especially Bird in this instance, do the bad boys still have their championships?
Well, I think part of the problem with because they kind of surpassed the Celtics as the dominant Eastern Conference team.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just Bird breaking down.
McHale was done at that
McHale
point,
broken
too.
down. Parrish was still good, but was aging. Danny Ainge got worse. Walton was no longer. He was out of the NBA. He was at least a really good 6 man for a while. So it wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. There's just so many. What's the word I'm looking for?
Variables.
Yes.
Yeah.
That can factor in.
And the Lakers would have had to adapt. They weren't going to have Kareem.
Right.
I think that they still would have been Showtime, but they probably would have had maybe even gone more to that. Had to push it more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would have been. I just think it would have been maybe the funnest time of basketball ever with all these guys playing at a high level.
Oh, yeah.
Because the bad boys were still formidable. I don't like how they did it, but they were still a formidable foe.
Sure.
And still you had Drexler's Blazers were made a finals during that time, and
Supersonics.
Supersonics, the Suns was once Barkley got
And
there.
the Jazz.
Yeah, I mean there were some. I mean those teams couldn't get there anyway. I mean at least some of them anyway couldn't get there anyway. So I mean who knows? But
Well, here's the thought for you. Okay, so we're talking. I just mentioned that the Lakers would have had to adapt, do something different, and Charles Barkley was known for moving around. What if he'd have gone and played with Magic when Kareem retired?
well,
Well, I mean,
They were both very good at getting up and down the floor too. That was Barkley's thing.
yeah. Or if he'd have gone and I don't know that he would have fit in with Bird as well, but
He comes to L.A. Oh gosh.
Well,
I mean,
if they
it could have
keep
been some pretty exciting time.
if they keep going, and like you said, of course, Dr. Buss, I mean, he never. What's what I'm looking for? He always made the big move needed to keep them
Never
in championship
settled.
contention.
No, he wanted
So-
to win.
So if Magic his career was prolonged and they were still good, he probably would have made a big move. Now who it was, we don't know. But if he would have got someone like Barkley, I mean, there's no doubt they would have been championship contenders easily.
oh yeah, because I think we maybe talked about this in either the Barkley or Malone episode. I don't remember which. Like, what if Barkley had that great point guard to
Right.
get him the ball in better spots?
Yeah.
Like how much better could he have gotten? If he was getting a lot more open opportunities instead of doing it himself.
Yeah, well, he steps in and takes. I mean, if you watch the Lakers, then it was the fast break, and if the fast break wasn't there, you waited for Jabbar to come down the floor.
Yeah.
You set up the offense. Well, Barkley could step into that role. He could run with them some,
Mm-hmm.
but he could also be the option. Just one of those interesting questions.
Well, young Barkley was great in transition.
Yeah.
That was his thing. He
Yeah.
got up and down the floor and dunked on people.
Mm-hmm.
And then as he got older, he kind of transitioned more into the half court, like you were saying. But I mean, yeah, it would definitely be interesting.
But how would he have meshed with Magic? Because we all know how Charles likes to drive the bus.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily an issue here because maybe it's still Magic's team. Like in that, like it's L.A. It's Magic's team, but it's not like they're both vying for shots here. Magic's passing the ball.
Right, yeah. Magic
Yeah.
said more than once that he'd rather pass.
Right. Magic would have no problem feeding Barkley the ball.
Well, it'd be foolish if you're the greatest of all time at one thing and you just decide, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm going to
good,
start
guys.
shooting some more. Like, no.
So I mean, I think it's a little bit different. If you'd asked, well, was Barkley going to play with Malone? Then that question comes more into the forefront because you're like, would they have been able to play together? But one guy's pass first, one guy's score first. I think that's more of a natural fit. Now, whether Magic would have, been up Charles's ass about it getting in shape,
Maybe.
Maybe a little bit.
I think there were some people that did, and it just didn't really work too well outside of like Phoenix. He was in pretty good shape in Phoenix, I'll give him that.
He was. He
But
was
Houston, he's fat, and he's fat for part of Philly, if not the
but
majority of it.
Moses got in his ass and made him get in shape. I think you have to be of a certain stature
Right.
to be able to talk to him about it and him take it seriously.
Yes, I don't think Magic would have a problem telling him, hey, I'm not asking you to become an Olympic sprinter, but we can't be chubby out here.
The round mound of rebound needs to slim down just
The
a
king
little.
of pizza, the Prince Pizza, or whatever that nickname is.
Well, with great franchises like the Lakers, there's a lot of leaders and people with stature, so Magic might not even have to do it. I mean, Pat Riley would have no problem telling his fat ass to get on a bike, and Pat Riley was the coach back then. So, so depending on what year we're talking about, if Riley's there or
Right.
not.
Or maybe you bring in an all-time great from the past, like a West or a Baylor or a Jabbar or a Chamberlain, and be like, hey, why don't you talk to him about the importance of keeping his body right or something. It could, like Wade said, it could have been a whole slew of guys.
Yeah.
Could be anyone from the
Limitless
Lakers
options.
past.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, Riley's known for it.
Yeah.
You got all the funny Shaq stories and stuff.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, that's
I mean,
another thing.
if Riley's still there. it's-
As Charles is slowing down, Shaq comes to L.A.
Well,
Yeah.
and we talked about that in one of the episodes. If he doesn't get HIV, is he still playing when Shaq comes? And then
part of Magic's game would never go away because he'd always be 6'8" and still be able to pass over people and be able to pass the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But at a certain point, he's gonna slow down, and by that point, they'd be cutting it pretty close.
He would, but
Because that's like what, year 17 at that point, when Shaq comes, if he's still in the league.
the season before that, the season before Shaq gets there, is the season that he makes his comeback.
Oh, yeah.
And after not playing for 4 years, he averages 14, 5, and 7.
It's respectable.
I mean, I'm not. Obviously, it's not elite or anything, but that's pretty good. And if you're throwing the ball to Shaq, I feel like maybe you get a few more assists a game. Because I mean, who's he throwing the ball to at that point?
Right.
Cedric Sabalas and Divock, and like there's not like any stars there with him.
Yeah, but if he doesn't get HIV, that's another 320 regular season games plus postseason wear and tear on his body.
That's also fair.
That's true.
So his body could completely break down. I mean, the 4 years is kind of a weird thing where you can be like, oh, well, he didn't play for 4 years, so it's amazing that he was able to come back and do that. But on the flip side, he got a long break to rest his body that had been torn down from numerous things.
That's true.
So
that's a good way to look at it.
You can flip it back and forth.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment.
Rather than, like I said, I think parts of Magic's games would never go away. The skill of passing doesn't deteriorate, and he's still tall enough to pass over every point guard that would ever guard him. I mean, he'd still be able to rebound, probably.
It was weird.
It's this picture, and it says the most random trio ever. It's Aaron Rodgers, Von Miller, and Paul George.
I like two of them.
And they're at some basketball court, but I'm just like, it's interesting to me. I don't know.
Which you'll find out in this football thing coming up. I love Von Miller. I think he's the shit.
Von Miller's good, man.
You're just happy he got Peyton another ring.
It helps.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, do we want to give our closing statements on Magic Johnson?
Sure.
All right. Well, I'll go first since I went last earlier. I don't know how much more there is to say about Magic. He's clearly one of the elite all-time greats. He's the greatest point guard of all time, without a doubt in my mind. He is, pretty much has everything you'd ask for in a player, regardless of position. I mean, we've got forwards that don't rebound as well, so I think, he pretty much just does everything at a high level. So, it's like, we brought up in the Larry episode that Larry averages more rebounds a game for his career than Patrick Ewing. Like these guys
picked on him a little bit.
These guys are just, they're at a level it's hard to approach, and sometimes it's hard to put into the right words. And Wade.
I'll probably just keep it pretty simple. I mean, he's just the greatest point guard ever. It's just pretty simple. And point guard is probably the most important position on the floor because you run the team. So if you're the greatest ever at it, you're going to be very high on the all-time list. And to be honest, and throughout our conversation, we probably could have spent 50 minutes talking about the stuff he's done outside of basketball, and we really didn't touch on it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He
He's
is
done a lot.
Involved in a ton of stuff. Which is kind of fascinating. So, even though we didn't talk about it, if you Google it, you can find all kinds of interesting stuff about him.
Well, since he's retired from basketball, if he's not still doing it, he's done it. You know what I mean? Like, he had his own TV show. He owns
the Dodgers.
Yeah, he's a part owner of the Dodgers. Like, he's been everywhere.
He's helped run or coach the Lakers 4 different times.
And owned part of the team for a while.
Yeah, so I mean, he's in tons of other different business ventures, and he's still involved with the Lakers, even though he's kind of in and out in certain positions and stuff, but he's always involved.
Well, he was just really close with the Buss family.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dr. Buss really liked Magic, spent a lot of time with him, taught him a lot of business stuff, and, he knows Jeannie and the rest of the family really well.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I had to say.
All right, Ray.
I'm just gonna ramble off a couple facts for my closing statement. His mom did not call him by Magic. She hated the nickname Magic. She just called him by his birth name, and she just despised Magic's nickname. His dad I think he's from Mississippi or something. When he was living down there, they said he was good at basketball, but he had to quit because he had to support the family. Let's see. After his rookie year, he signed a 25-year contract for $1 million a year. I think that's how that went. And then another thing that they said on the documentary was that his grandfather really was a big fan of Jackie Robinson, so that played a big influence on him buying the Dodgers.
Oh, cool.
That's an interesting one. Drew?
We basically covered everything with Magic. Best point guard of all time. Him and Larry, the most important players in NBA history. And, of course, his smile. So, there's really not much more to say. So.
If I didn't know better, Drew, I think you had a crush on him.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's got a crush on Magic.
And Uncle Doug?
Yeah, Magic was my favorite player during that time period. I was going to throw out one more stat to kind of illustrate again. 20 points and 12 assists. Average that for a season. It's only been done 4 times, and Magic's 2 of them. He's the only one to do it twice. Isaiah Thomas did it once, and Kevin Johnson, which I'm going to have to take another look at Kevin Johnson for the point guard list.
Jesus. Bye-bye Westbrook.
Hey, Kevin Johnson keeps popping up when we're talking about great point guards. I'm going to have to take another look at him.
Remember those all NBA he strung together? He was like first or second team.
Yeah. So
I think it's going to boil down to like some of the other guys we've talked about in the past. The injury pretty much ended it for him. He tore up his knee.
Yeah.
It's how long was he good before?
Right, yeah. I have to look that up.
I don't.
Think about it. Barkley's MVP season came when he finally got a great point guard in Kevin Johnson.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. But anyway, that's it for me.
All right. Well, that will end our Magic Johnson portion of this episode and move us into trivia. Drew?
All right. What is the least amount of games an NBA champion has won in the regular season?
Ugh. Well, I have a guess, but I like this question, Drew.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I got a guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to guess.
All right, let's see them.
I said 42.
Okay.
I said 48.
I said 48.
Okay.
56.
The answer is 40.
Ooh.
Wow.
They finished below 500.
The Minneapolis Lakers, yes.
Interesting.
Wow.
There's a 140, a couple 41s, a couple 42s, and then they started picking up to like.
Well, you said Minneapolis. They might not have been playing 82 games yet.
Might not have
They
been.
probably weren't.
Yeah, because in the 60s they only played 80 games. And when did they move to Minneapolis? Or move from Minneapolis, I mean.
It's about the time that Jerry West came in.
Jerry West came in what, the late 50s?
Was it six? I wouldn't say 60s.
I would say early. Yeah.
That was the early 60s?
Really late 50s or early 60s, I'm thinking, yeah.
It's not like we're that far off.
Because Baylor played in Minneapolis.
Okay, yeah, because wasn't his, like, first season? And then I was thinking that West, I can't remember whether he didn't play in Minneapolis, they had just moved to L.A., or they moved when he got there. But, yeah, it's that time period.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Good question, Drew.
Yeah, that was a good question, Drew.
Thanks.
Is it Wade?
I'm actually currently looking through all my stuff, so if someone else wants to go.
I can do one.
Oh no.
All right.
I didn't look at the drafts.
Ray mentioned that it's a draft question.
Of course it is.
Ray mentioned that Magic was the #1 draft pick.
Sorry.
That the Lakers won a coin flip with the Bulls. The Bulls ended up taking David Greenwood, who actually was a really good college player, but his pro career wasn't as good. Whose draft pick was it? It wasn't the Lakers.
It never is. The Celtics and the Lakers, one of them had the #1 pick every other year, and they were winning championships at the time.
Right.
It was ridiculous.
Because then they got Worthy a couple years later.
Yeah. So it was not the Lakers pick. So, whose was it?
Great.
Oh, okay.
Somebody stupid.
Oh, and by the way, third round, number 65 of the 79 draft, Bill Laimbeer. He came out same draft.
There you go.
All right, I got to guess.
And what? Isaiah didn't come out until 83, right?
Yeah, he was later. I don't remember exactly what year, but
So what was the question?
okay. The draft pick that the Lakers used to draft Magic was not theirs. They had gotten it from another team. What other team did they get it from?
Okay.
I wrote a team down.
Yeah, I'm just guessing. I have no idea. I was trying to run through their roster and see who had been traded there recently, but just trying to figure it out. But I ain't getting nowhere with it. Everybody else got one?
Yeah, I got one.
All right, I said the Clippers.
I said the Supersonics.
So the Kings.
Said the Bulls.
It was the New Orleans / Utah Jazz.
Hmm.
And that is the year that they moved.
Oh, is it?
I think when the Lakers made the trade, it was the New Orleans Jazz, and by the time the draft rolled around, it was the Utah Jazz.
So what was that trade for?
I don't remember now.
Milk and cookies.
Not sure what they gave up for that spot, but
Because I remember looking at a bunch of these one time, where West and Auerbach were getting #1 draft picks for, and some of these I'm like, I don't even know who these people are. Like, why would this team accept this?
yeah.
Like, did they blackmail them? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, it'd be like some white guy that I've never heard of and a future 4th round draft pick for the #1 overall pick. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Anyway.
Well, just think about that coin flip. I mean, Magic in Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago, in the 70s, had some really good teams. They were in the West then. They were in the Western Conference Finals a couple times. I mean, like, I don't know how much talent they had. Maybe not a ton since they had the chance for the #1 overall pick. But
Right.
So if Magic goes to Chicago, where would Jordan be then? Questions for the next episode.
Oh, gosh.
All right. Well, Ray, Wade, anybody want to go next?
Keep going. Go, Ray.
Right.
Who was the NBA champion the last year neither KD nor LeBron won a playoff series?
Won a playoff series. Holy cow.
Yep, that's a jawbreaker.
Whoever wins this year.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That is true.
Wow.
Which has gotten a lot more wide open since the playoffs started with these injuries.
It's not like this happened last year, too.
Yeah.
I got to guess.
I don't even know. I'm trying to think of when KD came in the league.
Let's see.
This was his 14th season.
I got to guess.
LeBron was in year 19.
Yeah.
So
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to guess. All right, I got my guess.
I got to guess.
shit.
I can't believe the Milwaukee starters are still in.
Gotta make sure. Leave no doubt.
Yeah, I wrote someone down.
Oh, wait a second. I'm changing my mind.
Yeah, every time I just I don't know.
Oh.
All right, I'm back.
Everybody ready now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just write someone down.
All right. I said the Lakers.
I said the Detroit Pistons.
Said the Spurs.
I said the Raptors.
It is the 2005 San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, go away.
Figured they won 5 of the motherfuckers. It's a good guess.
Well, I picked the Lakers because they won multiple. I didn't put the Spurs because I thought they won almost all of theirs before those guys were in the league.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just took a shot at who had the best, who had more than one. So
Well, you can thank Himbo again, 'cause I stole from him for the second week in a row.
Wade's heading to his lead.
Yes. Yes.
all right, I added to your lead.
Good job. You want to go? You want me to?
Go for it.
All right. Karl Anthony Towns has the highest the highest scoring average in Timberwolves history. He was 2 and 3. I'll even give you a hint. KG's not one of them.
Oh, I was about to write him down.
Timberwolves.
Ray, I told you this last night.
I know, but I don't remember that.
I was even trying to be nice. I told you I might use it.
All right, I got 2 guesses.
I got a
and Ray's defense, I said a lot of stuff last night.
Yeah, there was a lot of trivia being thrown back and forth.
There was.
All right, I got my answer.
So Ray should be ready for football trivia.
No, it was all basketball, I think.
Yeah, we talked about basketball. We're watching the playoff games.
Who could it be?
All right, I got a couple.
Yeah, I got
Did
it.
my KG hint help? Well,
I wasn't
Help
gonna
Drew.
put KG
Yeah.
because he came back for those last couple years. We averaged 2 points a game.
I mean,
Oh.
he's on the top 10 list. I'll read the top 10 list when I'm done.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
I said Love and Wiggins.
I said Rubio and Love.
I said Love and Marbury.
And this is probably the same thing I said last night. Mashburn and Rubio.
He did say Mashburn. I actually said Rubio too, actually.
Did Mashburn even play for the T-Wolves?
I
Yeah.
can't remember.
I don't think he did.
I think you might be thinking of the Mavericks.
He played. He came in with the Mavericks.
The Mavericks used to have jerseys that
Those
looked just
green.
like they looked just
Well,
like
who,
the old
who am I
Timberwolves.
thinking of?
and then he
then?
played with the Hornets and the Heat after that.
Yeah. Who would have played for him back then? I don't know who you're thinking of, buddy. I don't
Yeah,
know.
me neither.
Okay, I'll read off the list. No one got it. It is number 2 is Tony Campbell, and number 3 is Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. How does that even count?
Oh, because he's played 2 seasons.
That's horseshit.
He's averaged over 20 points per game.
He is playing well.
What is
Yep.
Love's?
He's on the list. Hang on. And the averages were 23, 20, and 20. Number 4 is Al Jefferson at 20. Number 5 is KG at in the high 19s. 6 is Andrew Wiggins in the high 19s. 7 is Love in the low 19s. 8 is Isaiah Ryder at 18. 9.
That's what I was thinking of. Isaiah Ryder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
9, the often forgotten Tom Gugliotta.
Oh, yeah.
And
Googs.
then 10. I remember Alice, we used to have a bunch of the cards of this guy. Ricky Davis.
Yes, Ricky Davis. Yes, I do remember Ricky Davis.
He's number 10 at 17. They have one of the shittiest top 10s as far as scoring numbers.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of them saved.
All right. Well, I guess that's me, huh? All right. Currently,
Find the other one.
in the NBA playoffs,
Oh boy.
there are 3 players averaging 30 or more points per game. Can you name 2 of them? Man, they keep showing this jaw dunk, and it is just so sick.
So can we list 3 or just list 2?
You can do 3 if you want. That's fine. I've given up on catching you, so I don't care if you get them right anymore.
I just listed 2 anyway. So that's fine.
Yeah, I got 3.
I'm locked in.
Drew?
No. I need one more. Oh, I got it. All right, I'm ready.
All right, what you got?
I said Ja, Jokic, and Giannis.
Jokic and Jimmy Butler.
I said Giannis, Butler, and Embiid.
And I said Giannis and Ingram.
Well, the correct 3 are Jimmy Butler, Nikola Jokic, and Luka Doncic.
I thought about putting Luka down.
How about with him only
Who's not
playing?
paying attention? Daddy got another point.
I know you did. I was proud.
Yeah.
All right. Well, nobody got any points but Wade this week.
Wade just pops in and picks up 2, 3. Yeah, he doesn't worry about it.
It's like going to the ATM, putting the card in, putting in your code, drawing out the money.
Well, after this week's tallies, the scores are as follows.
They're going to give me my trophy.
No, you don't get it yet. He gets to sit here another week.
But
I
we
live
have
next door. I can just come take it.
No.
Ray with 23, Uncle Doug with 47, Drew with 48, Alex with 54, and Wade with 63. Wade's lead was extended today,
Yep.
and Wade has hit rare territory where he is now officially 40 points ahead of Ray.
And has clinched his first trivia championship.
Now I think next week we're going to ask 20 questions.
It takes 20.
Worth 2 points each.
Of course, Wade will probably get 10 of them.
Yeah.
Then I'd be beating Ray by like 80.
I feel like the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you tuning in to this Magic Johnson episode, and we would appreciate you tuning in next week for our final NBA player episode of Michael Jordan. And thanks for tuning in to Sports the NEMO Way.